again, guys. Welcome back to another deep dive conversation. I enjoy these, I hope you do too. This time we're going to talk about how to clear negative emotions. And I know last time we talked about how to reprogram thoughts to positive thoughts. So this time I figured we'd take on the emotions because those are also very tricky and they tend to get pretty stuck and stagnant. So I'm going to give you 3 tips, like I did last time, 3 tips to unblock negative emotions. So here we go. So if you have emotions, if you're a human, you know that they typically feel like they get stuck sometimes, and sometimes without even warning, and they can come out of nowhere. You could just wake up with a feeling one day, and usually the feeling resides somewhere in your body. And because of that, your thoughts will often jump on board and be like, oh yeah, I do feel kind of sad. I feel it right here. And then you think of all the reasons why you're sad because you felt it in your body. Again, like I said before, thoughts and emotions, they work together. So when you feel something, it may be even an old emotion that's kind of coming up, and your thoughts will try to validate that as well. So then you have a whole vicious cycle going on. So it's my belief that emotions are just energy. They're energy that we store usually in our bodies, and they need to just move out, move up and out. Imagine your thoughts as like a fresh water supply. So your thoughts are like the clean water. So you're making sure when you clear your thoughts and you try to reprogram your thoughts to positive thoughts, imagine that is like changing the pipes. If they were rusty pipes, now you got some nice fresh PVC pipes. Instead of the murky pond that it was pulling from, now it's pulling from a good fresh well water. So that's your thoughts, and you can think of emotions more like the drain being clogged. So the water, the fresh water that you have, even if you have all the positive thoughts in the world, it's not going to go down that drain and flow through because the drain is clogged. So emotions in that scenario are just like a negative block that you need to remove, dissolve, so the water can flow through, so the energy can flow through. I do want to mention that reprogramming your thoughts, changing your thoughts, doing the separate, acknowledge, release, replace, like I've talked about before, that's super important, and that is the beginning of everything. This, what I'm talking about now, and unblocking these emotions, this is more somatic body work. And I think both are necessary and both are very helpful in changing our perspective and changing our energy. So using both, using thought reprogramming techniques like we've talked about, and then using these body techniques will help you get there. So often energy is stored in what is called chakras, which you may have heard of that word. And chakras are just energy centers. Just think of them as powerhouses of energy throughout your body, starting from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And they actually correlate with anatomical parts of our bodies. So they can be involved with spinal centers, ganglion nerves, nerve centers, or they can also be associated with certain organ systems. It's within these chakras that we can have emotions that are blocking the energy flow. I'll use the example of fear, shame, guilt, anxiety, and those are 4 emotions, negative emotions that can get stuck in usually the upper GI area. So when you feel fear or you made a mistake and you're worried, you're anxious, it's usually right here, right? So this area is called the solar plexus chakra, and that is our center for our confidence, our self-worth, our free will. It's our powerhouse, it's our confidence. So when that chakra is blocked, or we have some things that are unresolved as far as emotions that are stored there, and these can, like thoughts, they can be stored in the body from childhood, from things that, traumatic things that have happened in your life. You know, it depends on the person and on their history, but it does correlate with symptoms in the upper GI too, like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcers. You know, people who are perfectionists typically will have ulcers because they have low self-worth and they have anxiety and they're pushing really hard to be perfect. So it's interesting that a lot of the blockages in the chakra system, the energy centers of our body, will have physical manifestations in the form of symptoms too, from a medical point of view. But that brings me to now our 3 tips to release. So 3 of my favorite things to do and to help unclog the drain, get the water flowing, get it all flowing and clear, clean, clear up your thoughts, and then now we're gonna clear it out of our bodies. Number one is movement. So I'm a yoga instructor, of course I'm gonna say movement, but no, seriously, it's your body. There are things in there that need to move and to expand. And so usually when we feel fear, when we feel these negative emotions, the tendency is to contract and to feel small, to hunch your shoulders, to be as invisible as possible. So the opposite of that and how to get things moving is obviously moving your body. So if you are in a funk and you need to move things through, literally movement will help you 80% of the way. So movement can be dancing, that is my favorite, dancing and yoga, hello. But it can be anything, walking, taking a nice walk, but I would say more cardiac intensive movement. So dancing or just stretching the body. It doesn't have to be yoga, it could be anything. So doing a few forward fold bends, or side bends, just moving the energy through. But I would say something that gets your heart rate up, like dancing and really just moving things you haven't moved in a long time, and you will feel it, and you may feel it the next day too. But that's a surefire way to know that something was stuck there, something needed to be moved out. And we can also store things in our fascia system, that's a whole thing, but like our hips and then our joints and things. So I would say dancing, put on some music. It's like, that's my prescription for everybody. It's like, put on some music, put on something that you can't help but cut a rug to, and for 3 minutes, for 5 minutes, dance like nobody's watching, because probably no one is watching, and you will enjoy it. And afterwards, you're gonna feel pretty amazing. So that is my step one. Step two. Step two has to do with the voice. So releasing things out of the vocal center into the world. So step one, we're moving, we're expanding our body, saying that I'm here, I can take up some space now. It's okay to release things, body. And then step two would be releasing it from the actual voice. Because again, we, us empaths are people who are more introverted. We have a small, sweet, soft voice, and sometimes that voice needs to resonate and to resound, to expand as well. So step two would be singing very loud. I'm like Buddy the Elf now, singing loud for all to hear, to bring Christmas cheer or whatever he said, but no. Singing top of your lungs or screaming. That is a thing, that is a therapy. You can do it into your friend the pillow if you need, if you have a family or you don't want to worry your neighbors, but that's going to help move energy through your throat chakra. And when energy is blocked here, typically it's also blocked here, and so it's not able to continue the flow up, and so this will just help release that stuck energy too. So screaming into a pillow really loud, singing really loud. Or what I've done too is get in your car where nobody can hear you and scream 3 positive affirmations. Could be, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am expansive. Scream those 3 things, and it has worked for me like instantly. So try it, see how you feel. One of those vocal expanders. And now step 3. What is step 3? I don't even know, I haven't even thought that far. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about breathing, because breath is connecting to the body. So that is my third technique. It's the simplest one. I saved the best for last. It's easy, you can do it anywhere. My favorite breath of all time to help reduce anxiety, to help yourself fall asleep, to help just get reconnected when you feel a little spacey. If you're like me and you have a bunch of planets and air signs, you need that grounding, is the 4-7-8 breath. I'm like, what are the numbers? It's 4, 7, and 8. So 4, inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale with your mouth for 8. And then do that 4 times. So the 4, 7, 8 breath 4 times, eyes closed wherever you are. And suddenly you're gonna feel a lot lighter and a lot more in tune with your body, and a lot of that negative emotion, those negative energies feel like they've dissolved a bit. So all 3 are great. pick one if you need one over the other, but that's a start for somatic healing, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you try it. Let me know what you think about it. If you do it, I want to hear. So have a great day. Love you guys.